This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk. This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Charmander.
Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shake Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what
Schlecht?
it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my special guest and some breaking news, I want to tell you about our good friends, Aaron and Drew Reese at Shelter Insurance. These are guys that you count on literally every single day when something goes wrong with your car or your house. If it gets damaged, call Aaron, 405-773-5500. You can call Drew. You can even text Drew, 405-478-7714. Both are great guys. Both are huge Thunder fans, and they would love to not only hear from you about insurance, but if you just text them, hey, man, Thunder up. They may like that. Who knows? Tell them Down to Dunk Centra, and we thank them for supporting the podcast. With me today is my wife, Mrs. Down to Dunk is here to help me answer some listener questions. We first will dive in quickly to the Brandon Carlson signing, which is emergency pod, I guess. Not really an emergency pod, but Shams Charania is reporting that the Thunder are signing Brandon Carlson to a 2-way contract, which I think is a great deal for them because I think Carlson can actually play. I wondered if he would actually be on the Thunder again. I think he's a really good player. I think that he's obviously a good G League player. I think he's a good backup big. And so to get him back on a 2-way contract in OKC is a great thing. He'll be able to play spot minutes during the season. It'll be a good developmental piece for the Blue. Just having some shooting on the Blue will be helpful to guys that we playing down there. So it's great. It's great. We're coming to you from a undisclosed location right now on our way to NBA Summer League. I don't know if you can see like some of these mountains in the background here. Pretty sweet.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful location. My wife is here. She wanted to ask questions. So here she is. She's going to fire away at listener questions. So first you got to tell us who it is and then what their question is. And we'll try to fire through we'll fire through a few of these.
Dog.mp3 ask, where do you see Brooks Barnhizer fitting on the team in his rookie season? Is he more of an OKC Blue guy in his first year? Or do you see him on the end of the Thunder bench in place of guys like Flagler and Dukas?
I mean, he'll be on the bench because he's a 2-way guy, and I expect him to play with the Blue a lot this year. But I also expect him to get some time with the Thunder. I think one of the biggest things for OKC was preserving the body and the minutes for Alex Caruso during the season. I don't see why that would change. And so I think that we'll see Barnhizer with the Thunder some and with the Blue some. So Flagler, Taylor Venus in the chat, he bets Flagler is gone. Yeah, Adam Flagler signed a summer league deal with the Atlanta Hawks.
We're really sad about that one.
Pretty sad about the Flag man being
we
gone.
We all love Adam Flagler.
Yeah, we're Flag fans here at Down to Dunk. So sad about the Flag man.
Sportsfan 405 says, and maybe that's a topic.
Toe pitch.
Well, he's not asking a question. Okay, let's move on.
Sorry, Sports Fan 405. She does not approve of your question.
No, it's not a question. Do you read statements?
You can read statements. He's got a lot of basketball thoughts. Sports Fan 405.
Okay, well, let's hear his thoughts.
Okay.
Topic and AJ are taking shots they won't be taking because they're the only guys that can score. Players get 10 fouls and are swarming them and ignoring everyone else. Refs are not good. Do you agree, Andrew?
He's basically just talking about how these guys will have a much easier time in the regular season because they're not going to be the focal points. I actually like what I've seen from both Topic and AJ in these games. I know Topic hasn't shot the ball well, but all you want to see with guys like him, he's 19 years old. You just want to see good flashes from him.
He's really young. He's 19?
He's 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He looks it in the face.
Yeah.
But he's physical. He obviously can handle. He knows how to play the game. He plays with rhythm.
He's younger than Kaysen, and
he's younger than everybody.
He's younger than everyone.
He's younger than everybody on the team. I think. I can't remember. I don't know if he's older than all the rookies, but he could be. He's extremely young. And I think he looks physical enough. He's big enough. He's a good passer. He's got to improve his shooting. He's got to improve his defense. But his handle is good enough. He just clearly knows how to play the game. So I'm a fan. I've liked what I've seen so far. Summer League is mostly fake, so there's not a ton to take from it. But I feel like I've seen enough to think yeah, he belongs. Now, how does he fit on the Thunder? How many minutes does he play? What does that look like is a whole different question. But does he belong in the league? He doesn't look completely lost out there to me. So,
Caleb Jones said, if Topic and AJ play minutes next season, which current players are most likely to average less minutes? Also, Topic looks like Topic looks to be playing like someone who needs NBA competition to improve. G League competition is going to be weak against him. What role do you see him playing?
I mean, he's going to play. Mark finds room for everybody to play. So I have no doubts about that. As far as who's going to play less minutes on the team, I mean, I think that guys like Caruso can play a little bit less next season. Minutes are not going to be easy to come by. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, you look at just minute totals for the team. The guys that are locked into 1,000+ minutes are probably Hartenstein, Wiggins, Kaysen, Dort, Dub, and Shea, and also Chet as well. I mean, we want to lock Chet into 1,000 minutes too. Let's hope the guy is completely healthy this season. I think Isaiah Joe might take a little bit less minutes in the regular season. Kenrich could take a little bit less minutes in the regular season. Now, AJ played almost 600 minutes and only played 36 games. The guy was already kind of important to what they do. Look, they find time. Dylan Jones, for crying out loud, played 551 minutes. So those minutes are gone. They'll wipe those off the face of the earth. Ousmane Dieng played 405 minutes. See ya. You can find minutes for these guys. You can find ways for them to play. Now, if we're talking playoffs, I think AJ has a much better chance to play in the playoffs. He played 84 minutes in the playoffs. He didn't play a ton. Did play in the finals, which was shocking to us all. But for a guy to play Summer League and in the NBA Finals is pretty wild. But they'll find minutes for him. I think he'll play. Topic in the playoffs is a complete wild card. He may not be ready for it. Totally fine if he's not. Again, the dude is crazy young. To hop on a train that is moving at this speed is going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for him to do. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I think it is a puzzle piece to figure out. It's for Mark to figure out. And he's not going to be the only puzzle piece to figure out. There's a lot to figure out with this team, and they're all good problems to have. But yeah, it's not easy to see a path to them getting a ton of minutes, but they'll play some.
Connor Donovan said, considering how our playoff rotations ended up this year, can you go back? Who do you think is protected in an expansion draft? Curious your thoughts and if they've adjusted at all since last time you discussed it.
Wow. Expansion draft question. Okay. So the expansion draft is this. So when they form new teams in the NBA, they have to do what's called an expansion draft. And they get to go and they get to take players off current teams. And the way the rule worked back then was that you get to take 8 players, or you get to protect 8 players for your team, and the rest are unprotected, and the other team can come and get them from you. Now, I don't know how much they're going to change the rules on this whenever they do expand. One thing to consider is that you can also, instead of giving a player, you can give a draft pick. And so the Thunder, if they like 12 guys and they try to take somebody like Jay Will, or they try to take somebody like Topic or AJ or somebody like that you're like, man, we just would rather keep them. Like, you can give up a first rounder. So there's a lot of reasons that you want to have a lot of first rounders. This is another reason why you want to have first rounders. But the 8, I mean, obviously you take Shea, Dub, Chet, obviously Dort, to me, Caruso, Kaysen, Hartenstein right now. And then I would probably protect. I mean, if we're talking about the best guys on the team, like we're still trying to win a title with the top 8, I think you protect Wiggins. I think that if you're an expansion team, you would snatch Aaron Wiggins so fast. So fast. You'd also take Topic. You would also take AJ. And these are moments where I'm like, okay, I'd like to keep those guys. Were they essential to winning this title? Not necessarily. I could hear people saying you should keep. If I were to protect either AJ or Topic instead of Wiggins, I would probably protect AJ, because I think AJ is a little bit more ready to compete today. Topic probably has a little bit higher ceiling. I think he's almost immediately the best passer on the team. Is certainly the best lob passer. So like there's a lot of intrigue there, but there's still a lot of mystery box to him as well. I would still probably protect AJ, but you could convince me the other way around as well. But it's going to be tough for the Thunder. There's no question. I mean, if they came and snatched Kenrich, it would be a terrible day. If they came and snatched Jay Will, it'd be a terrible day. So, yeah. I think that's where you're just like, all right, we'll surrender a draft pick instead. We'll let you have this like pretty decent draft pick is what I would do.
Okay, Logan F. Goodner asks, who are the top teams in the East and West who could challenge the Thunder next year for the title? A lot of injuries have really shaken things up.
Yeah, it's going to look really different for next year than it did this year. I think if we're talking about the Western Conference, I think the Nuggets are at the top of the list for me. The Nuggets got a little bit better. They have some veterans that they can rely on a little bit more than they had last year. So that is a little concerning if you're OKC, because that's just a better team. Russ is not on the team anymore, for better or for worse. I think that they got better. Now, I think Houston is the other team. If Durant can stay healthy throughout the season, especially the playoffs, I think that's a dangerous defensive team. I think that they now have a go-to scorer. I don't know how long they're a contender, because Kevin's is pretty old. So I don't know how long Kevin's going to be good, but I think I've said this on many platforms. I would have done this deal just to get the Jalen Green deal off my books, period. So I don't mind it. They haven't given him an extension yet. Frankly, I would not give him an extension. I'd make him prove it. I'd see how it looks. I would not do that. I would not give Kevin the extension. Maybe that's just sour grapes from me. And then I think Minnesota's still on the list, although I think they got worse without Nikhil. I think that, I don't think Kyrie's going to be back at full force for the Mavericks next year, so I don't really have them on the list. I don't think the Lakers are going to be all that much better. I think the Warriors are a year older. That's not good. I think that those are the teams probably. In the Eastern Conference, I think the Cavaliers are at the top of the list. I think then it's a little bit up in the air. Atlanta? Are we at the Atlanta point yet? The Knicks? I think the Thunder would pummel the New York Knicks in the playoffs. I think they would destroy them. So I don't really fear them. The Cavs could be really good. The Cavs could get it together. And then maybe Atlanta. But the Eastern Conference is weak. This without teams like the 76ers actually reaching their potential. The Boston Celtics are out of it. The Pacers are out of it. The Bucks are out of it. Like we're talking like this is JV times 12 next year for the East.
Okay. Twice God says our biggest weakness in the playoffs was again our 3-point shooting. How do you think the team addresses it, if at all?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Some of this will fall. I mean, let's look at the 3-point percentages for the playoffs for the big three for the Thunder. Shea was 28% in the playoffs. J-Dub was 30%. Chet was 29%. Dort was 34%. Those are the guys that are taking a majority of the threes. Caruso shot it well. He was 41%. Isaiah Joe actually shot it well, but just didn't take that many threes. He was 41%. But it's going to be on the big three to shoot it better, period. Like, they just have to be better from three. If you haven't watched J-Dub's video that he put on his YouTube channel, is very interesting. It is crazy what he went through during the playoffs. So he talked about how he injured it against Phoenix. And then he had to like reform his shot between that and the start of the playoffs.
Could you tell his shot looked different?
I mean, I could tell he was not taking catch and shoot threes at all, which he addressed. He said it's so much harder to take a catch and shoot three because you have to like set your wrist like this instead of like just coming up and just firing it away. It's like he just wasn't taking threes. Like the ball would hit his hands at times on the perimeter, and I would seriously be sitting there saying, why is he not shooting it? But it's because he couldn't. He said that moving it side to side or this way, like he couldn't do it naturally.
And did you notice that at all?
I noticed that there was something. I mean, he was screaming at his wrist at times. He had it wrapped like crazy. I didn't know he's getting lidocaine shots every single day before the games. I didn't know that he was getting these cortisone shots, as often as he could during the playoffs. I mean, it all makes sense when you kind of look back at it. Hindsight's 2020. You can see like, yeah, we knew something was up with his wrist. I asked him about it in a press conference. That video is like bouncing around everywhere now about him like looking over at Tumbleson, asking him like, can I say anything about it? But it's just interesting, like the way that the Thunder handled their injury reports, because they never listed him as questionable. Some of that is like he was never not going to play, but that was also the case. And John Hamm mentioned this in a conversation we were having via text earlier. Like Luka was questionable for almost every game in the playoffs last year. And nothing ever was said about whatever. Like he just was listed as questionable. He's going to play. They could have done the same thing with J-Dub, but they didn't. And a lot of that, I think, like the playoffs are such a mental game. And I think that they, at the end of the day, wanted no excuses on the table for why they would win or lose. And so I think that J-Dub was going to play, and this was just part of it. I think he'll be a better shooter now that he's going to be healthy for the start of the season. I mean, he's in a cast. He's going to be recovering for a while. But if he's fully healthy by the playoff time, I expect him to shoot the rock better. He's a much better shooter than 30% from 3-on-5 attempts. Like his attempts need to be way up, and that percentage I think will go way up. So I think that will help. I think Chet will be better. I think Chet will have his legs a little bit more if he stays healthy. So I think like it's more internal stuff rather than external. AJ's a guy that I think can shoot the rock, but it's more internal development than it is external. Like it's way more on the big three than it is on anybody else. Wiggs could shoot it better. Joe could shoot it more. Kaysen Wallace is only 32%. Kaysen needs to shoot it better too. I think he will. So
Kaysen's also young.
Kaysen,
right? Like he's learning how to play under this high pressure and
yeah, it was hard for him. Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, I think he turns. How old is he now? 22. Yeah, he's 20. No, he's 21. He turns 22 in November, so he'll be entering in his 22 season this year. So that's also a good point. Is like Kaysen needs experience. He needs more experience. And I think that he will shoot it better as well. Not that he's like some knockdown guy, but I think he'll shoot it better than he did in the playoffs. Yeah. So more internal development than external. Like, let's go get somebody to fortify things for them.
Tyler OKC. Every year, Shea gets better, which is honestly crazy to think. Which is more likely, that his 3-point percentage going to 40 or the assist number getting close to 10 a game? Which would be more helpful to the team?
I think his passing is the thing that probably needs to improve the most with the amount of usage that he has, with the amount of shots that he takes. I think that, he shot 37% from 3 in the regular season. That's pretty good. Again, the playoff number needs to increase. I think that is something that can, but I think the passing is something that I think can and will get better for Shea as he just gets more and more used to the kind of defenses that they're throwing at him. So I think the passing.
And next season, like the confidence and the grit that they're going to start the season with after what they did.
Championship experience.
Yeah.
There's only one way to get it.
I think they'll be riding that high too, which is going to take him to an even higher level.
It's hard to disagree with that.
Chris wants to know, what's the holdup, if any, on the Chet and J-Dub extensions?
I have no idea. It's July 8th, by the way. It's not like we're...
Is that unusual or?
Not for the position that they're in. I think a lot of, and I don't really know what the case is. There's reporting on other contracts that teams are kind of trying to shuffle through the new numbers of the CBA or the new numbers of how much the cap is rising. I don't know if that's the case with these guys or not. Some of it could be timing. Like I remember Russ didn't sign his extension for a long time because he wanted to go on vacation. Some of this could be like J-Dub's not signing his because he wants to be healthy, or maybe there are negotiations that are happening behind closed doors. I'm not privy to that information. I don't know. I wouldn't freak out about it. It's July 8th. It's not like it's September 8th. They have time to sign these extensions. They're going to take their time. I don't think there's any concerns. As long as these deals get done, it's great. Now, if we hear that these deals are not getting done as an impasse, then we can have a completely different discussion. But I wouldn't freak out about it yet. It's only July 8th. We haven't even started real summer league yet. So
a lot of people ask about that.
Yeah, I expect them both to get done. I don't think there's going to be anything weird about either one of them. I think they're both going to get done, and that those guys will be locked into the Thunder for a long time. That's my expectation.
Matt wants to know, what is your favorite summer league moment?
Favorite summer league moment?
His was 2 years ago when Trey Mann got a nasty poster dunk against Utah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do kind of remember that. Specific moments. I loved the beginning of this team whenever, remember when Josh Giddey really wanted to play summer league, and he played a lot of summer league ball when we thought that he didn't really need to, but because he wanted to play with Chet. That was very cool. Seeing him play with Chet and J-Dub, and it was like that roster was completely loaded. I think it still had Trey Mann and J Will was on that team. I think that who else is on that? Hit me in the chat if you remember who else is on that team. But there were a lot of players on that team. That was the height of Thunder Summer League. That was an unbelievable team. I also I'm partial to the Deontay Burton moments where it was they just unearthed this guy and he became a two-way player, and then he became a little bit of an obsession of mine. His head was shaped like a Lego. I saw him at 7-Eleven one time, and we had a great conversation. It was great, and he did the intro for our podcast and everything. He was very, very nice guy. So anything Deontay Burton related was great. Low lights, Terrence Ferguson trying to run point. Didn't work out. Didn't ask that question, but that just popped into my head.
You love watching games in the little gym too at Summer League.
Oh yeah, any chance that you get, and that's what I think that the cool thing about the Thunder not having any A-list players on their Summer League team is that we get the small gym, which if you're going to be in Vegas and you get a chance to watch the game in a small gym, watching NBA level talent, and not all of them are NBA level talent, but a good chunk of NBA level talent in this smaller gym where you can kind of hear everything and see everything up front. It's like a high school gym is what it looks like. And so getting to watch that level of talent in a small environment like that is very fun. And a lot of times I get to sit pretty close for those games. And so it's just an absolute blast watching games in the small gym. Good call.
Anywhere you sit in the small gym, you're close.
Yeah, it definitely feels close.
Feels close.
Yeah, no question. It's a great place to watch a basketball game.
Zachary says, Andrew, Sam needs your counsel. He can only keep 2, Caruso, Dort, or Wallace. Who are you trading and why?
Oh, this is evil, Zach. Zach Deeg. I would. Oh, this is terrible. These are 3 of the guys that I want the most. I think that obviously, like Caruso and Dort, probably impacted the title this year more than Kaysen did. I would probably pick those 2, and like, you could probably get a lot for Kaysen Wallace on the trade market. You could probably get more for Kaysen Wallace than those other 2 on the trade market, just because he has such a bright future ahead of him. So that's probably what I would do, but I would do it very reluctantly and through gritted teeth.
Benjamin Miles asks, what can Isaiah Joe do to find more playoff minutes next year?
Make shots. Become a better defender. Play with more toughness. I thought he actually did okay defensively in the playoffs. So if he just gets a little bit tougher and he becomes more of a threat as a shooter, because he just didn't take enough threes for it to matter. It's a fly in here. He just didn't take enough. So I think he's got to take more threes. He's got to be better at getting open. They have to find ways to get him open. It kind of all went away in the playoffs. The teams did a great job. Credit the other defenses for taking him away. But it's more about like, how can we get his volume up? Is how he is going to get more minutes, is if he can find ways.
Thunder Up 05 asks, will AJ play in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. I haven't heard otherwise.
Is there concern for J-Dub's surgery in the start of the season? Who would you rather play in the second round of next year's playoffs? Houston or Denver?
Who's this from?
Same person, Thunder Up 05.
Oh, Thunder Up 05. The first question was concern about J-Dub's wrist. I mean, Presti told us that he'll be back by the start of the regular season. So I trust what Sam says to be true. Not thinking about it otherwise until we hear about like a setback or another surgery or something. Then we can talk about concerns. But, I think honestly, like there was probably more concern at the time around his wrist than there will be going into the season. I think that they'll get it corrected. He'll feel a lot better. It may take some time for him to kind of get back to 100%, but honestly, as long as he's back 100% and feeling good by November, December, and able to shoot it like he normally did, I don't see any big issues with it. So, and the final question: who would I rather play in the second round? I think Denver's tougher than Houston. Houston still has a lot of inexperienced guys on the team. I don't think. When you think about the guys that are on there now that have a lot of playoff experience, it's Kevin. That's really about it. I mean, like Steve-O and Capella have a lot of playoff experience, but I don't know how big of roles they're going to play. We're talking about a lot of young guys that have not been through it yet. And so I'll take that over Nikola Jokic every day, especially with what we saw this past year. They took him to 7, and Thunder were on the razor's edge at times. I mean, we talked about it last Friday, but man, really, really close series with them. Hey, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll answer some more questions. We'll be right back. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about our friends at Ring Family Dentistry. They take a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Drs. Phil and Brendan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy and fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. The Ring Family is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and from what I understand, a whole lot of Legos. Also high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house, which is unusual You're not going to find that at every dentistry. I'll tell you that. Call to schedule your appointment, 405-621-1555, or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. Also, you might just send, when you call them, end your conversation with Thunder Up, because I think they like the Thunder too. They support us and the Thunder. Okay. Any more questions from the audience before
Kale
we go?
wants to know, who scares you more, a fully healthy Dallas or Houston?
A fully healthy Dallas or Houston? I would probably go a fully healthy Dallas. Anthony Davis is still a monster. That's a big team. I don't know if Coop's ready to win in the playoffs yet, but he will be soon. Kyrie is a great playoff player. Yeah, I think that is a scary team. Houston, I still want to see what their offense looks like. They haven't added a lot of shooting around Kevin. I am very curious about that. So, yeah, I think that Dallas is scarier than Houston at this point to me. I could be wrong. Maybe Amen Thompson makes a big jump. Maybe Şengün makes a huge jump. Like, those are all possible. I think in the long run, I'd rather have Houston's roster than Dallas's, just because they have this kind of aging roster around Cooper Flagg. And then they're going to have to pivot at some point. Whereas like Houston has these like up and coming stars that will take the mantle and they'll be fine. So I think I'd rather be Houston long term, who I'm scared of this coming year. If somehow, which I don't think Dallas will be fully healthy. So I don't think this question is actually very relevant. But I would say that if they were somehow fully healthy, I'd probably at least like to play the Dallas Mavericks. Is that it?
Taylor asks, how's the Kia handling the trip?
Ooh, okay. Taylor Venus in the chat. We got a great Kia Carnival from our friends at Bob Moore Kia. Shout out to Bob Moore Kia. Go test drive a Kia, Bob Moore Kia today. I almost said test drive a Bob Moore Kia, which is not a way to say it. Test drive a Kia at Bob Moore. They're awesome there. They've been super supportive of us.
It's so comfortable.
It's comfortable. The kids are comfortable. We have driven a long way. This is partially why we're doing a podcast Tuesday evening, is because of the long way that we've driven. But we will be in Vegas. If you see us in Vegas, say hello. We'd love to see some dunkers there. I have a few stickers. I actually found these. These are our old school stickers that are a little different than the new ones.
Do they have the QR code?
They're a little bigger than the new ones.
Oh.
And they have like the full logo. And so I would love to hand out some of those. I have maybe 12 of them. So you got to find me in Vegas at Thomas and Mack. I'll be around. I'll be bebopping around. Alex will be there. My wife will be there. My kids will be there. If you see me though, find me, because you gotta get one of these. These are very limited edition stickers. We'll print some more for next season, but limited down to dunk stickers coming at you. Who do my kids want autographs from? Lawrence Field wants to know.
Everyone.
When Asher found out that Darius Baisley was on the Lakers, he was very excited.
Asher's organized all of his cards by team in Ziploc baggies.
There's a Ziploc bag for every single team. And so he's
spent hours on it.
Hours and hours. So he has a backpack that has the teams that are in order. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild what he's done. But Alex Spears will collect things from time to time, and then he'll just get rid of them. And he sent our kids all these basketball cards. And it was a time where Darius Baisley was thought hey, maybe he could be something on this team. Yeah. So he had a ton of very cool Darius Baisley cards. And so they're hoping to get Bays to sign some of his cool cards. But yeah, they're on the lookout for everybody. They have a ton. They're spoiled. They have a ton of signatures, but they're on the lookout for just about everybody. Taylor Venus again, thoughts on the 62.5 over under for the Thunder. it's a very respectful. There's a number very respectful of the Thunder and what they're capable of. I would still take the over on it. I don't think they're getting 68 again. I think it's probably closer to 65. But yeah. Anyways, if anybody has any other questions in the chat, we'll answer. Anything else? Mom and Dad pod. Yeah, the kids are in the room watching a movie, and Amy was like, "I'll be on the pod with you." It's like, great. I don't have to talk the entire time, so that's nice. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in to this edition of Down to Dunk. We will be back Wednesday, which is tomorrow, actually. I believe Alex and Michele will do a pod from there, and then Alex and I will be in Vegas, and so we will do a podcast live from Vegas. We still have a little bit of our pre-trip left before we go to Vegas. We're gonna go see some cool things here. Probably go to Zion National Park.
Talk about Carlsbad.
We went to Carlsbad. Has anybody been? Let us know if you've been to Carlsbad Caverns.
Our kids have a new favorite national park.
Yeah, we have a national park ranking, and that bumped way up to the top of their ranking. One, it's not super hot, which they loved, and it's very cool. So,
Unreal.
yeah, let us know in the YouTube comments. Comment below if you've been to Carlsbad Caverns. It's a cool place.
Or if you have a favorite national park.
Oh, give us your national park rankings.
Yeah.
Do you guys have national park rankings? We'd love to hear your national park rankings before. Spam the comments with national park rankings. Spam the comments. Oh, Grand Teton is number 1, Lawrence Field. Oh, that's a good one. We would like to go there.
It's on the list.
We would love to go there. So, anyways, yeah, we're having a great time. It's been very fun. We've seen some incredible stuff. And so we look forward to seeing more of that before we go to Vegas. Again, be one of like 12 people to get one of these exclusive Down to Dunk stickers that are probably 10 years old at this point. So come and get one.
To the No Dunks pod.
Ooh, the No Dunks live show. Yes, which is, hold on. Let me find the details because we'll be there.
It's at Mandalay Bay.
It's at See, you and Asher know the details better than I do. But Mandalay Bay, I believe it's on Friday. So if you're going to be in Vegas, the No Dunk show, I will be there helping out a little bit with them. I don't know if I'll actually be on the show or not, but regardless, I'll be there. So Mandalay Bay, gosh, where No Dunk should pin this to their Twitter. Did they not?
It's Friday.
Did they not? Yeah, Friday at like 4:00. So be there or be square. It'll be fun. We're also going to record. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
July 11th. Is that Friday? Yes. July 11th at 4:00. Doors open at 3:30 at Mandalay Bay. It's free admission for the No Dunks live show that I'll be at. And then we will do Slam and Jam live on the concourse at 1:00 on Saturday at Thomas and Mack. So Alex and I, with a special guest, Slam and Jam live, be there or be square. And then also, if you're in Vegas, we will be doing trivia on the concourse as well. So keep an eye out for that. So hope everybody's doing great. We will talk to you guys again tomorrow.